Okay, so this is a screencast for the SketchUp for Schools, the new updated format of tools and locations of things. I wanted to update the video as well. So just so you remember that SketchUp for Schools is in the waffle menu down here at the bottom. When you click on that, it brings you to your home screen. When you're in your home screen, one of the most important things is that we're going to draw this actual size. So you want to make sure you're not clicking, just click on Create New, because that will set you up with in inches. You want it to be in millimeters decimal. So you're going to go to the drop down arrow next to Create New, and you're going to create a new decimal millimeters screen. So now your measurements will be in millimeters, because we are doing our 3D printing magnet. So as a max, the 3D printed magnet can be 75 millimeters in diameter and also about 10 millimeters in thickness, extrusion. So we have the rectangle tool here. I don't want to show you the rectangle tool because that is in this tool menu. What is confusing a lot of people is where you find everything else. So on your Chromebooks it looks like that. On the computer it looks like this, but I'm going to make it look like your Chromebook so it's the same layout. And let's say I'm going to choose a circle. So circles, first of all, it tells you the sides that it's made of, 24. So that's how many little lines there are in a circle. Now with the size that we're doing, 24 is just fine. And it also is asking me for a radius. So if you remember in math, radius is half the diameter of a circle. The radius is the center to the outside edge of a circle. So if I wanted to have a, let's say, 60 millimeter diameter, I'll do a 30 millimeter, okay? And notice I didn't click anywhere or touch anything. I just typed on the keyboard while I had the tool open. Okay, so before I click and the tool's still open, I can let go of the mouse, type in 30 mm, hit enter, and it's now there. Now it looks small compared to the person, but that's why the person is there, to give you scale and perspective. If it looks like a gigantic pool, then you know that it's too big for the 3D printer. So first thing I'm going to do is erase the person. Second thing I'm going to do, which under the menu that's down here, I'm going to click on this magnifying glass with the 3 arrows, that is zoom extends, and I now am zoomed in. Now I'm going to roll back a little bit so you can see it, and I'm using my mouse wheel to roll in and out. I am going to use the push-pull tool. Push-pull, and now I had said about 10 millimeters, so if I make this bottom, let's say 4 millimeters, so I can let go of the mouse, or I can just go with the mouse. It's clicking at each millimeter interval, so I can just bring it up to 4 millimeters. Okay, I don't have to go to the max. I can do a little less than the max. Now let's say I want to add some 3D text to it. Under the dots, up under all the different shapes, you have the 3D text tool. Now the 3D text tool, if you notice, starts out with a height of minus 305 millimeters and the text extrusion at minus 152 millimeters. We're going to want to change these values. So the height is the height of the actual letters. So if my circle is 60 millimeters, if I made the height, I don't know, let's say, well, let's see how big it will be with 30 millimeters. And then the extrusion, I only want it to come out 4 millimeters, right? So my whole thing will be 8 millimeters thick. So let's say I'm going to write Tech 7. Depending on, let's see, the font you choose, sometimes the fonts will have some different options to them. So let's say if I select it, I can choose a bold font. Oh, I have to choose it before I type it. Let's just verify that. So is it bold? Tech 7. And let's say I'm going to write it in a different. Okay, so see how this one you can only do regular, can't do it in bold. So let's say Tech 7. Okay, so they're way too big. So one of the and really important things that you can also do is make sure that you're selecting the surface to put this on. You don't want to put it on the side. You don't want to put it down where it's going to be at the same height. You want to put it on top. So I'm going to click on one of the points on the circle. And if you notice, it has this blue bar around it. So the blue bar allows you to move it around on red axis. And then the scale tool is this one with the, if I click on it with the scale tool, I now have the handles. Now I'm going to grab a handle from the top, but I don't really want it to get smaller. So it did get smaller. So let's see, I'm going to have to go up a little bit to make it that millimeters. Okay, and now I want to remove it. So like readjust, remove it, not get rid of it. So I'm going to click on the 4 arrows. I like to click somewhere near the bottom so that I'm keeping it on top of the surface, on face. See that? How it said on face? See it says on face there? That's what you want it to say, on face, meaning it's on the top of that circle. Okay, and then let's say we want to change some colors here. So under the paint bucket tool, which is right there, it opens up a menu that is some of the common colors, but if you click on the search, you have all types of colors. And I could even just go into colors. And let's say I want the lettering to be yellow. So I click on that and I click on that and the lettering is yellow. Another handy tip is that if you triple click on something, you select all of it. So click, 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 click. I can do all the surfaces at once. Okay, so that's a quick little tutorial on doing a circle with 3D print. If you want to try out different shapes, try out different shapes. Remember that you're in millimeters, so if I wanted to make something to be the biggest it can be, I just let go and type in, say, 75 millimeters, comma, space, let's say 35 millimeters. So it should be like a rectangle. Okay, and then if I back out, you'll see that it is actually a rectangle. Okay, if I wanted to lift this up first, you can go up, let's say 5 millimeters, and let's say I don't want it to be pointy in the corners, so I'm going to try a different shape, and I'm going to kind of push it away. So first, you have the line tool to make a straight line. So if I made a straight line from, let's say, here to here on edge, I now have a new surface there. And if I use the push-pull tool, I can just select that surface. So you see how it's just hatched on that little spot. So over here, of course, is the whole thing. Over here is just that little triangle. And when I want something hollow, I have to make it even with the edge, and it will be gone. It'll disappear. Okay, you can do the same thing with arcs and the arc tool. So if you go into 2-point or 3-point arcs, let's see, I like the, is it the 2-point? You click somewhere here, you click somewhere there, and then you can move it until it's tangent or however you want it, and then pull this down to be even with this bottom edge, which can be on the front as well. Okay, and then let's see. So now it's either an arc here or a straight line there. I'm just doing random shapes that people have done in the past. Also keep in mind you can't have a lot of letters. If the letters are too small, the 3D printer will not will not print it. So I'm also going to save here. So we're going to save to my drive. I have a folder already set up for SketchUp, and I'm going to save it as a, so here we are, and here's my drive, and then I have SketchUp folder, and then I'm going to name it my screencast video magnet, right, because it was the locker magnet. Okay, and save here. Okay, when you're ready to save this as an STL file, so now it's saved as a SketchUp file. To save it as an STL file under these 3 lines, we're going to go to download, and under download we're going to go to STL. STL is the type of file that will be, it'll be named the same exact thing, and right now it's going to be under my download, so it'll be the most current in your Chrome drive, but you're going to add this file and the SketchUp file to the assignment to turn it in. Okay? So thank you for watching, and I hope this helps.